Hi friends! My name is Hedge, and this is episode 1 of the 21st Hour podcast. I need a new goal in my life, so I've settled on making 21 episodes of a podcast. There's a Reddit post by Rebel Muso Society called The Art and Science of Getting to the Very Top of Crowded Creator Markets. It states that there are 2 million podcasts, and if you publish 21 episodes, you will be in the top 1% of all podcasts globally. I've never been in the top % of anything, so when I read that, I felt like I could probably achieve that. The Reddit post was published 2 years ago, and the metrics have probably changed, but the idea behind it stays the same. The post gives a lot of actionable advice about breaking into the market, creative success, competition, and not quitting. I'm not trying to do any of that. What I'm trying to do is simply set a goal and achieve it. Hopefully, I'll also gain a sense of myself back in the process. The post discussed lead and lag metrics, which makes it feel like I'm at work. But for transparency's sake, I feel like I need to share my lag and lead metrics. My lag metric is to make 21 episodes. Lag metrics are your long-term goals. Lead metrics are predictors for achieving long-term success. They are what you are going to do in order to achieve your lag metric. I'm not quite sure what my lead metric will be, as I don't know what I'm doing yet. I started working on this episode on February 21, 2023, and I started recording it May 27th at 8:48 p.m. I decided to make 3 podcasts before releasing any of them, which is one of the reasons why it took so long to get out. There's some pros and cons to this approach. Pros: I have a backlog of podcasts to post whenever I need based on my current rate of work. Once I've done 3, there's no excuse to just do one and be like, I don't like it, I'm gonna quit, and not put it out. When there's 3, you've put a lot of time and there's more of an incentive to do it. And now I have a microphone, so what else am I gonna use it for? Cons: making 3 is way more of a daunting task than making just 1, so it feels like a faraway goal. It's a lot easier to make excuses and not work on it because it feels so far away. There was this 2-week stretch where I thought I was going to wake up an hour early and work on the podcasting every morning. I didn't. I kept on making excuses for not working on it. I was tired, lazy, etc., blah, 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 blah. However, I was just really scared that this thing was going to fail before it even started. So I have 2 pros and 1 con. The pros went out. The whole discussion of lead and lag metrics, pros and cons, seems a little self-helpy, and I do not want this podcast to turn into any type of self-help. No one should take advice from me unless they are learning what not to do. I do want my podcast to be a place where I can be vulnerable about my life decisions and truthful about my thoughts. I do not want to create an environment where I get pity for anything I share. Instead, I just want to own my messes and be realistic about them. If you decide to join for the ride, I hope you will feel the same. In order to give myself a little bit of structure, I have already decided themes for the 21 episodes. I am not going to reveal what the episode ideas are, as they are not set in stone. About half of them are me talking about my life and getting personal. If you like people watching, these will be the episodes for you. Unprompted, I will share what I believe are the aspects that define me as a person, and you are free to psychoanalyze me. In my personal life, I'm a bad liar. I've been called over-emotional and immature, and I 50% agree with that. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I used to care about the things I worked for, and I want to care again. When I did care, I would get really fiery and sassy when things go wrong. In these episodes, my biggest challenge will be navigating the balancing act of knowing how much to share. I feel like both undersharing and oversharing risks making this experience less authentic. This intro episode is one of the more personal ones. When I edit it, I may split it into 2 episodes depending on how long it is. If I do not split it, the next episode will be one of the fun episodes. These episodes are my shower thoughts, topics I find interesting and want to research and share. If you love the random and weird, these are the episodes for you. Again, these topics are not set in stone. If you want me to talk about a particular topic, comment wherever you are listening to this. I am not an expert in anything, but I find it to be oddly comforting and incredibly intimate to connect with a stranger. And how divisive and crazy the world is, it can truly help your sanity to hear a normal average person have normal average positions and opinions. I hope in this way I can help make you feel less alone if you are feeling that right now. The idea is that I alternate between a personal and a fun episode. I have one rule and one suggestion for the podcast. The rule? Each episode must be at least 30 minutes, which is about 4,500 words. If I make 21 episodes that are 30 minutes, then shouldn't the podcast be called the 10.5-hour podcast? Maybe, but this is my podcast, so I get to make the rules, and I couldn't think of a better name, so this is it. When you make your own podcast, you can make your own rules. The suggestion is that the intros to my podcast will be loud, they will be obnoxious, they may contain bad singing. I can't help it if my face was made for podcasting and my voice wasn't. I was regrettably a theater kid in high school and college, so I am very used to watching and hearing myself. You all know the people, mostly children, and adults with the maturity level of children that can't watch themselves. Whenever they have to, they will make comments like, "I'm so awkward. I hate my voice. I'm so untalented." I am not a professional in any artistic field, but there comes a point where you grow up and get used to watching and hearing yourself. It's not an enjoyable experience, but it's something you get used to and you develop a level of appreciation for. You have to be able to watch yourself with a critical but productive eye to succeed in the arts and a lot of other fields. If you don't, you will destroy yourself and burn out. Even if you are not in a creative field, you will likely have to give a presentation one day, so it is an advantage to develop a healthy outlook on watching and listening to yourself. As I start to edit hours of myself talking, let's see if I continue to hold that view. Let me know if you think there are any more rules or guidelines I should add. I enjoy structure.